Let's get going. Does anybody have any pecuniary interest with anything that is on the Committee of the Whole agenda? Seeing none, then, we are going to go into our presentation, and we have one from Mr. Dan McKay and Mr. Jim Morris, traffic light at Ross and Toke. So if I could ask for Dan and Jim to come forward. Now I got to tell you guys, that's probably two of the nicest dogs I've ever seen. Now Danny McKay, I know he has a hard time keeping up with Kodiak. I've seen him skidding down the road there the odd time, but anyway, welcome gentlemen, and the floor is yours.
Well, good evening, Mayor Logren, lady, gentlemen, members of council, ladies and gentlemen all. Dan McKay and I are very pleased to be here. My name is Jim Morris, and our dogs are Kip and Avery. And they're under the desk at the present time. Hopefully they'll stay there. They have the final words here after the mayor and council, of course. Yes, we're here to ask council to seriously consider our proposal for a traffic lights at the intersection of Ross and Toke, or a controlled safe access over the street of Ross at Toke. Now, I walk in this area on a regular basis, and I might tell you from a personal perspective that crossing Ross is very difficult at any time of the day or evening. When I walk down to this intersection, I have to listen. That's the way Dan and I cross at any intersection, especially one that doesn't have lights or a controlled crossing. We have to listen, and once the traffic near to us on Toke has driven away, then we can listen to the oncoming traffic from either east or west. And if we then decide that it is safe to cross, we can scoot across. Often at this particular intersection, I wait any time between 5 and 20 minutes to cross that street. And there have been times where people are very good, pedestrians and motorists, and they assist me in getting across. There have even been motorists who have stopped and seen how difficult the traffic is coming up and down Ross, that they've gotten out of their car, walked over, stopped the traffic, and allowed me to cross. However, there have been times when people have said it's okay to cross, and yet I know it's not, because I can hear the traffic coming up the hill. So that happens rarely, but it does happen. And I've checked with Dan, and he said yes, that's happened to him too in other parts of the city. Now, sometimes the traffic, because of that intersection or because of the other streets, Patricia, Hart, Gordon, Murray, these streets, when the traffic tries to come from these streets to get onto Ross, instead of stopping at the stop sign or before the stop sign, as the traffic law says, they take their vehicle right to the edge of Ross in order to look east or west to determine if the traffic's coming. And, well, if you're blind, as I am, totally blind, you have to walk behind the vehicle, or you have to just wait there to cross the street. There has been an occasion also where I don't know if it was a brand new vehicle or whether it was an electric vehicle. I didn't hear it at all. And this is what is coming, these hybrid electric vehicles. I was walking, it seemed to be okay to walk across the street, and suddenly I felt the cane tip in my right hand being depressed, and it was a vehicle that was rolling slowly forward, and it ran over the cane tip, because you have to use a cane when there's no sidewalks to determine where the edge of the street is at all times. Therefore, I was using the cane, and I had to I had to yell at the motorist to tell him to stop and to reverse. And of course, he was very sorry. But I told him, I'm sorry for you, because if you don't look left and right, especially left when I'm coming from your left, you're going to be in the accident, or more so than me. That's why I think that traffic lights at Token Ross, the time has come for pedestrians, because you'll see in your package, Mayor Logren, members of council, that you have some letters. You have a letter from Gil Gilmet, Health and Safety, Timmins and District Hospital Board, recommending that they're in total support of my request to council for traffic lights or a safe crossing at this intersection. They have employees, they have people coming for appointments, they have people who are coming to visit. And some of these people are pedestrians. Many of their employees walk to work. A safe crossing is important because, remember, there's no stoppage in traffic between 655 Highway and Pine Street. That's almost a mile of free-flow traffic. And I think that if the traffic lights were there, if you built them, the pedestrians would come and they would certainly use them. Your second letter is from Timmins Children's Treatment Center. This Marie Rollo, she tells in her letter how children, mothers of all ages, they come and they to the treatment center, and they have to cross Ross at some point in time if they're walking in the spring, summer, fall, if they're not driving. And a safe crossing would be most helpful to them all. The Epilepsy, Seizure, and Brain Injury Center, Rhonda Latondras, she is stating the very same thing, that they take therapeutic and recreational walks in the area with their clients, and it would be very helpful to have traffic lights or a safe crossing at Token Ross. This is something that they too would like to see. The CNIB, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, they sent a fourth letter in your package there that from the mobility and orientation instructor. She is aware of a lot of municipalities that have safe crossing in heavy traffic areas like this, and she thinks that, she knows the difficulty of trying to train blind people to cross safely at intersections, finding the curb, listening, and if anyone doubts how difficult it is, many of these pedestrians that I encounter at that intersection, they say, yes, there should be traffic lights here, yes, there should be a safe crossing. And even some of the motorists say that when they roll down their window. I know that there are Pinecrest School, and the Northeastern School Board has school crossing guards here 3 times a day, in the morning, at lunchtime, and in the late afternoon. However, that doesn't help just everyone to cross the street. This is primarily for the children going to school. I think that Timmins City Council would be doing it right for everyone in the community to have safe crossing at that location. And one final letter that arrived today, and that's why it's not included in your package, but I do have copies for you, Mayor Logren and members of council. And could I ask Councilman Andrew Marks to read it for me?